You've heard the stories about billionaires giving away billions in charity. The foundations, the hospitals, the schools, the awards, the smiling photos with children and world leaders. But have you ever stopped to ask, why? Because behind the generosity, behind the glossy image of philanthropy, there is a darker truth. A shadow that stretches from gilded mansions in Manhattan to secretive boardrooms in Silicon Valley. A world where wealth is not just power. It's control, cruelty, and sometimes ritual. This is the side of billionaires that is hidden from public eyes. The part they don't show you in magazines or charity galas. A world of exploitation, manipulation, and secrets that would make your skin crawl. John D. Rockefeller, the man who transformed from a struggling 16-year-old bookkeeper into the richest man the world had ever seen. His story is often told as one of genius and charity. But the truth? It's darker. Rockefeller didn't just build an empire. He crushed everything in his path. Entire towns of independent oil producers vanished. Small businesses that refused to sell to Standard Oil were systematically destroyed. There are accounts of men literally begging Rockefeller's agents not to bankrupt their families, only to watch as their livelihoods disappeared overnight. Kerosene prices were manipulated. Communities suffered. And yet, in public, John was the benevolent philanthropist. And the philanthropy? It wasn't just about helping people. Rockefeller himself admitted that giving money away could help control society. The Rockefeller Foundation shaped universities, medical research, and even government policies, ensuring that the world bent to his vision. But Rockefeller was not alone. Andrew Carnegie, the Steel King, built his empire on the backs of workers. In 1892, during the infamous Homestead Strike, Carnegie's steel plant became a battlefield. Armed Pinkerton agents were brought in to violently suppress striking workers. Dozens were killed, many more injured, all to maintain Carnegie's control over his empire. And yet Carnegie presented himself as a man of culture and morality. Cornelius Vanderbilt, the railroad tycoon, was another master of cruelty hidden behind philanthropy. He manipulated markets, crushed rivals, and engaged in business practices so ruthless they would make today's hedge fund managers blush. Vanderbilt was known for intimidating smaller companies into submission, leaving entire communities destitute, while building his empire. Now, here's where it gets darker. These billionaires weren't just ruthless, they were part of a larger, secretive world. From Rockefeller to the Rothschilds, there have long been whispers about ties to secret societies, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and even more obscure occult groups. Frederick Gates, Rockefeller's advisor, was rumored to have encouraged rituals to promote divine order in their wealth. These weren't just symbolic gestures. In elite circles, donations to certain organizations were not just charity. They were payments into influence, loyalty, and access to secret networks. The idea was simple. If you control money, you control the world. And if you can surround yourself with people who swear secrecy, no one can stop you. The Rothschilds, another family synonymous with wealth, were frequently accused of operating behind layers of secrecy, their power often described as almost ritualistic. Meetings in secluded estates, coded messages, and hidden alliances, all of it fueled the rumor that their influence went beyond economics, touching on manipulation of governments, wars, and banking crises. And yes, some of the world's elite have had well-documented associations with esoteric practices. Symbolism, rituals, and gatherings in private locations have been observed repeatedly. Some speculate that these are more than mere tradition. They are a demonstration of loyalty and absolute control. Fast forward to today. Modern billionaires may not build oil monopolies, but their cruelty has evolved. Jeff Bezos, for instance, became the richest man in history while working Amazon employees under extreme conditions. Warehouse workers have reported exhaustion, injuries, and psychological strain at levels that would be considered unethical or even criminal in any other industry. And yet, Bezos appears in public donating to climate initiatives, art institutions, and even space programs. A perfect public mask. Elon Musk is another example. Beyond rockets and electric cars, reports have surfaced about extremely harsh workplace conditions and aggressive tactics against competitors. Musk is a master at manipulating media narratives, turning even failures into a form of brand worship. While the world praises him for innovation, there's a growing trail of stories about people crushed under the weight of his ambition. Bill Gates, too, has used philanthropy as a strategic tool. The Gates Foundation funds global health and education, but it also gives him influence over international policies, research agendas, and pharmaceutical industries. Some whistleblowers argue that control over research grants and medical trials can dictate outcomes in ways that favor his vision, while leaving controversial questions about ethics unanswered. And this is where the real conspiratorial side emerges. Across generations, the wealthiest have formed not just networks, but what could be described as cult-like systems of loyalty. Secret dinners, private meetings, and hidden advisory boards where only the powerful are allowed. Symbolism is everywhere. Logos, architecture, even philanthropy decisions often carry hidden meanings. Some historians and investigative journalists claim that societies like Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, and other elite clubs aren't just social clubs. They are incubators of influence and control. And yes, there are even reports, never fully verified, of wealthy elites engaging in symbolic occult practices, or at least paying homage to ancient traditions meant to consolidate power and invoke fear. Whether myth or reality, the stories are disturbing enough to make you question what really happens behind closed doors. This brings us back to philanthropy, because while the world sees hospitals and schools, billionaires see influence. Every donation builds public trust, obscures darker histories, and protects their empires from scrutiny. It's not evil for the sake of evil. It's strategic. Consider the case of the Ludlow Massacre. John D. Rockefeller Jr., inheriting his father's wealth, oversaw operations that led to the violent suppression of striking miners in 1914. The Colorado National Guard was called in. Tents were burned, men, women, and children were killed. This is a man celebrated in public for philanthropy. But behind the headlines, children and families were slaughtered to protect wealth, or the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire in New York, while industrial safety was ignored, and lives lost. Some of the richest men in the garment industry remained insulated, donating afterward to schools and hospitals, enough to appear benevolent, while their negligence cost hundreds of lives. Fast forward to the present. Amazon warehouses, Uber drivers, factory, sweatshops funded by billionaire-owned corporations. Millions of people globally live and die under systems designed for profit. Yet, when billionaires are praised in magazines or award ceremonies, those realities fade into the shadows. Even tech billionaires like Musk and Bezos, publicly lauded for space exploration or renewable energy, rely on systems of control. Their charity is meticulously curated to protect their narrative. So next time you hear about a billionaire donating millions, ask yourself, what's the real cost? Who suffered while the donations were calculated? What secrets lie behind the glittering facade of charity? Because in a world where wealth equals power, and power hides behind philanthropy, the line between generosity and cruelty is thinner than you think.